Hi folks! To make this video more interesting, I'm going to use a cartoony voice. The kids told me my other videos I sound too boring. Anyway, in this video, what I'm going to do is add a ball, and the ball is going to drop, and it's going to roll around on the ground. It's going to do this, and I'm not going to write a single line of code. It'll be my first moving object in the game that moves all by itself. Here's my scene window. Whoopie-doo. Here's my hierarchy window. Make sure you have the top of your hierarchy selected when you right click and you say game object, 3D object, add a sphere. Sphere was added. Just to put it in the center of the game universe, I'm going to go over here and press reset. Now, you're probably wondering where the heck is this sphere? It's so little. I'm just going to make it bigger. On the scale for the sphere, I'm going to change it from 1 to 10 for X, Y, and the Z. And as you can see, look, it's been bigger. But now I'm going to double click on the sphere. It takes me right to it. Well, the sphere is sitting right on the ground. I want to pick it up a little. I can do that two ways. I could change the Y position. Oops, that's going down and this is going up. I could do that. Or I could do it a different way. I could click here, changes these icons, and then I can pick the up arrow and just drag it up. And drag it up as much as I want to. So I kind of dragged it up enough, right? I think so. It's up in the air, guys. The ball is up in the air. Now, nothing's going to happen yet with that sphere. Not until I add a component. So make sure I'm still selecting the sphere in the hierarchy. Then, in the inspector window, go down to add component. And what is that? Then I'm going to pick physics. And in the physics, I'm going to add a rigid body. Adding a rigid body gives my sphere the ability to have some physical interactions, like apply the laws of physics to it. And one of the laws of physics is gravity. So here is the gravity checkbox, making sure that this ball has gravity. Just adding this control, this component to my sphere, the ball's going to do something. All right, I'm going to show you what it's going to do. I'm going to show you right now. Just get a good view here. Then I'm going to select the camera, and I'm going to align my camera to the view. Game object, align with view. And as you can see, this is what the camera is going to see when I press play. This is what the scene's seeing. They match because I picked the camera, and I said align the camera with the view. This is a new window you're going to see now, the game window. The game window is what the camera sees. And the game window is what becomes active when I press the play button. So, here I go. I'm going to press the play button, and let's see what happens to that ball. Play. The screen changes colors to show you in play mode. The ball begins to drop. It drops, and it hits the ground. And then it kind of rolls on the ground a little bit, and it hits something else. Let's see that again, but let me try to get a better view. Or better yet, maybe move the ball somewhere where it's going to roll to a different spot. So let me just look at it from the top. And yep, I'm going to hit this moving icon thing. I could use the arrows, or if you look closely, I'm putting it on a little square. That yellow square means now I can just move it around freely along the blue and the red axis. I'm going to move it over here, just over this hill, because then I'm sure when the ball hits the hill, it's going to start rolling down the hill. This should be a good view. Let's see, just like that. So, go back to my camera, say game object, align with view to set that as the view. Now I'm going to press play. Let's see what happens. Here it goes. It's playing. The ball's dropping, crashing the trees, rolls down some of the hills. Which way is it coming? Oop, it goes up the other hill a little bit, and then it starts rolling this way. Now there's some properties about this ball and the amount of gravity and the effect of gravity on it. and you can play around with them and see what happens. Also, I wonder what happens if it's not a ball. How about if I put something that's not round? Will it act right? Let's try it. Game object, 3D object. Let's add a cube. That's totally not round. It's like a box. And double click to see where the cube is. It's right there. But let's make it bigger so we can see it from far away. 10, 10, 10 on the scale. Double click on the cube. Yeah, that's pretty big. Now let me just look at this from the top. I'm holding my Alt key and the mouse button when I move the screen like this. Let's see the cube from the top. This is selected. Click this little box here, and I'm going to put it right there on the edge, folks. Right there on the edge. Now let me use the hand to move this a little bit like this. I wonder what's going to happen. Let's move it a little bit more. Let's see what happens with a cube when it has physics added to it. So I'm not ready yet. I didn't add the physics object. So pick cube in the hierarchy window, then in the inspector window, go to add component, physics, rigid body. There. Now it has the rigid body. Now two things have the rigid body in my scene. Let me just align my camera with this view now. Uh-oh, what did I do? I did a mistake. That's okay, I'll say edit, undo. When I align the view, I gotta make sure I select the camera. Then I say game object, align with view. Yes, that's better. All right, here we go. I'm gonna press play. Let's see what happens. I press play, and slowly these objects, gravity pulls them down. The ball rolls, and yes, look at that. The box is not a circle, so it kind of tumbles. Wow, isn't that great, folks? Just adding a rigid body to your object, and it kind of acts like the way you would expect it to. Great tutorial. Thank you, Mr. Santiago.